Hello, I am Charm, and I'm here to cast over the game, which is Goats Only versus Guangzhou Gangsters. This is the advanced week 4, I believe, game, and we're gonna be starting off on Lijiang Tower momentarily.
We will be still starting off on Lijiang. That is the Guangzhou Gangsters' choice as they won the coin flip. Apparently, what rhymes with Bakanji is bench, so that's very nice. All right. All right. Or when ready. So as soon as these teams are ready, we'll be heading in.
I personally don't know too much about both of these teams, but I can tell some of the names. I know Vegito from Contract. I pretty good friends with Contract. Refresh was Oace. He's a pretty good player. I know Chegg, I've seen his name tapped around. Schaffler was a really good Zen in Goats meta in Novice last season. I've seen Chaos and Haptic's names tossed around, but besides that, I really don't know much about this match.
That is fair. I do believe Brody was a very high SR main tank pickup at the very least. Pings, I know, is well, obviously is an off tank. I want to say he's been popping off pretty good in terms of that type of stuff. Yeah, I know from previous matches that I've had, both casting and just hosting in general, that I guess I generally say that these teams are pretty much on the same level, which does happen to be the lower end of advanced, but nevertheless, I really do think we are in for a good game today.
Yeah, I always prefer to see, even if it's like two lower tier teams going off, because it will be a closer match in the end. I'd like much worse than a higher team versus a low team, like mid versus mid, low versus low, high versus high. Is much what I'd prefer to see. I think most people agree.
That's definitely true. Closer matches are generally better for the viewer unless you are heavily invested in one of the teams and your team barely loses, in which case it kind of hurts. Then again, it also hurts to get rolled, so that's just how life is, you know?
Yeah. So I mean, one thing I've noticed is the entirety of Guangzhou is silver border or above. So, and like quite the opposite for Goats Only. They have 4 people with a bronze border, and one of them is only a level 100. So, it seems quite the difference in play time, so that might have a factor in.
That is very true.
About how much the players may know a lot more from Guangzhou and be more experienced than Goats Only.
Yeah, that is definitely something that we might see, and I am excited to see whether or not that does have that much of an impact.
Still waiting from the R for Goats Only.
For Guangzhou, actually.
No, from Guangzhou. Do not know what is taking them so long. Don't they only have 5 minutes before we have to start?
Technically, they have
like
15 at this point. They realize that it's their choice to make the R. All right, off we go into the match. Going off to Lijiang, the more popular choice out of the two, out of Lijiang or Busan.
Personally, I'd prefer Busan. I think Busan has a much more like different of what you can choose composition-wise, because they have downtown, which is pretty good for dive. But on Lijiang, it's mostly just you run at each other.
That is fair, but
that's basically all you do.
I guess I wouldn't be surprised to see these teams both running pretty much meta. So Ryan Diva, May, and then something a little random. Could be McCree, could be Reaper. Could be.
Although
there's the McCree. Yeah, I'm not gonna flash in the Bastion Divide. I don't think he's gonna stick on that one.
Yeah.
Vegetal as well, flash in the Reaper, but there, the Roadhog, but now he's off to ride as well. So
I would personally love to see Chegg pull out the jump.
That's very true.
That would be a treat.
I would not be surprised if it comes to 2CP and Goats Only get to pick. They're gonna go Anubis for that power of the Junkrat.
4, 3, 2.
So both teams running out on the full meta. Probably both gonna go White Rum as well, because it's pretty risky.
No, actually.
Oh, they're going. One is going coast.
Guangzhou is going coast right on over, so they're going to be clashing on the point instead of waiting to clash anywhere else.
Coast is usually pretty easy because they have video and you get both moves. It's a pretty easy wall for them. It's even walled off right in frozen.
Nice stun on Thrash, brings out the defense base and allows him to get a demat. tower goes down. That's a lot of people
Looks
down.
like Vegito is taken.
Guangzhou will be able to take this first point here because of that. And so
They should clean this up pretty.
Brody
Brody
decided
charged
to-
off the map with Shag.
uh,
That's a power move right
Yep.
there.
just like, you know, I don't need to be with my team when you come back.
So, but this, yeah, goats only. They're
It does give
pushing
them.
in
It
pretty
gives them a
fast.
free push in. Let's be honest. Pings does get.
Brody is.
Brody just
Oh,
throws a
shattered
slam right
by
into
the
the
wall
wall.
from Che.
Get the pin on the Vegetable. And but Vegetable does go down because of Haptic's help there.
As you can see, Refresh or Oasis, he was picked off by Negage. I don't know how to say his
Probably
name,
just
but
Engage.
the Guangzhou charged Lucio. Engage? Yeah. The Guangzhou Lucio picked off Refresh somehow. So, that was a easy win for the fight.
Very true.
Although, still, Chegg had that amazing wall that blocked the shatter. But a lot of ults invested from both sides. Right now, as you can see, the Noon is coming out.
Just coming out on that side. I don't think it gets anything unless it still is holding it because you can really hold High Noon a lot longer than you think. But no, at this point he's definitely let it drop for whatever reason. Back on the point.
Coming into this fight, you can see Goats only has 1, 2, 3, almost 5 ults. Speed
Beats
invested
come out
from
but
both
Pings
sides.
uses his mech. High Noon is coming out.
Noon from
As soon
Goats
as that
only.
beat fades, that High Noon could be very dangerous. Slam goes straight into the shield.
Shatter as well.
A big eat for Wrath.
Wrath eats Chaos Blizzard. Refresh here, cleaning it up. 2 nice.
Pings makes the dubious choice to get back into mech. Gets demeched and falls off. That's going to be a big step.
That is a big stagger. That should allow them to get somewhere around 29%. This is poke damage coming out. Goats only. They don't have many ults right here. They're trying to get more ults. Because as like both sides are low on ults, but Nano and Bomb can usually do more. But both sides have it, so
Brody gets walled off by Chegg. Doesn't fall though, and instead gets the nano boost and charges right off the map again. So that's both main tanks down.
again,
Adam gets
Adam
his,
takes out.
gets his counterpart, even as Haptic takes down Chegg. It's still pretty even.
This is a 3-4 fight. Bomb coming in. Bomb gets
Bomb doesn't get anybody
But-
that pings out of the mech does. Guangzhou in the end will be getting
Bomb is invested.
getting this point as soon as they take out Vegetable.
It was a pretty
Shag.
fight.
Staggering just a little bit, but they are getting that. They are getting point presence. That brings them up to 64%. I would say that those staggers are worth it.
Even though Brody is kind of messing around, he's charged off the mic twice here. Guangzhou is still winning this.
That is very true.
So, Brody has another shatter. We'll see if this one gets destroyed.
Thrown into another wall or shield.
Gets
Brody right into the shield again. High Noon's coming
thrown
out.
into a shield.
Doesn't get D-Mech actually. That's pretty big. Looks like that Goats only will be able to take this map. Well, take this point back.
Is down. Things is down. Down. Refresh cleans up too. Vegito gets engaged, and this is a pretty clean retake from Goats only. I don't think they used any ults there besides maybe.
I know they used High Noon as well to get the D-Mech, but other than that, yeah, I think they were just building ults, which makes this a very nice retake for Goats only. On the other hand,
So, coming in from Guangzhou, they only have Blizzard and Nano. They're going to be taking White Room against the Goats only defense, where they have Shatter, May Blizzard, almost Beat, and
again, but a
Nano.
counter wall coming in from Chaos. Help out. Then it'll win again by
Try to
Chaos.
Shatter.
But a Blizzard comes out, Blizzard on the side of Goats only.
Almost all the ults are coming out. There should be a cleanup, but Chaos has his mail. He might be able to get Chegg here. Chegg is frozen it down.
A late beat coming out for
Kings took out Refresh.
Guangzhou might let them take this map eventually, but doesn't know if there's enough time before they get moved back on.
Haptic is back on Reaper, which is a really good repossess pretty quickly. Guangzhou looking like they're gonna take this. They're looking pretty dominant.
Coming out, it's gonna have to be a big
Coming
one.
out.
Yes, Haptic actually, but I don't think that's enough when they're still
one.
bleeding players.
Brody ties it back with a charge and a shatter. Refresh is
High Noon
taken
cut
down.
off, and the objective is secured by Guangzhou.
Guangzhou takes the first control point. Map one.
Score.
I think that Guangzhou, they were pretty dominant there, considering how much they were messing around. Especially from Brody.
Ready for battle.
That was much more dominant than I expected. I expected Goats only to be coming out on the top.
That is fair, but it was 99 to 99 in the end. It was close on both ends, but I think it definitely shows both teams have things that they can, minor things that they can improve on to help, you know, mitigate their losses a bit more.
Rolling out here is, it appears like we're going to be on Reaper.
One.
Oh, no, still running Sim. So, what I'm trying to say is Goats only are coming out with Sim. They're probably going to TP straight on the point. Guangzhou is probably going to be able to contest them pretty quickly.
Indeed are.
There we go. Refresh, or at least on Symmetra.
Adam gets caught
Turn
out.
set up. Oh, Adam gets picked off pretty early.
Digital already nearly caught out by the wall. Chaos doing his best to bring him down, but Jag falls down early as well.
There goes
really
Jag.
low. Not a lot of people left here. on this
Guangzhou
side.
might be able to get off Brody or Pings here though. Ping, Vegito is dead, Refresh dead, and Pings got 3. Pings has been doing a pretty good job so far. He's been pretty dominant. But that was a clean contest from Guangzhou. And now, Goats only has to come back. Both teams have no ults, but Guangzhou is pretty close to their Shatter and Nano.
Very true. And I believe with that, yep, he now Nano immediately given to the Rhine. We'll see if he does something other than charge directly off the map. He does indeed.
He is getting CC'd to all
CC'd all the hell, drops a Shatter right into a shield, doesn't get much. That's a lot of ult invested, though they did invest in Nano into Vegetal as well, with nothing much there to say.
Both teams, once again, have no ults, but they're able to farm ults pretty quickly here. Brody does not have shield. This could be a big boot from Adam. Adam is picked off instead. Blizzard coming out from Guangzhou.
Chen gets one, but that's all they're going to get in this very long battle where Beat came out again, Blizzard came out again. A lot of ultimates did come out here for the side of Guangzhou.
So, Goats only, they have ults that can win this push. Vegito used Shatter. Adam is halfway to beat. Adam's been playing pretty consistently in their backline. And it's not really working out. But
Very true.
just a change of pace could definitely win this.
I mean,
But still, they're coming in with 4
the biggest
ults.
thing they have here is that
Against-
Blizzard, because they used because Guangzhou used Blizzard at the end of their last fight, meaning that Blizzard is the biggest thing they have over it. Other than that, they're pretty much even in terms of ultimates.
Brody might be able to get a Shatter before Vegito gets his shield up. Chegg is picked off. Adam is picked
Finally,
off. Haskin
Slam gets something,
two.
even if it's just one bit Digital.
Refresh is going to be able to touch point here, though. Will he be able to touch for long enough? No, I don't think that was a long
I don't
enough
think
touch.
so. I think REF
But Raph
barely gets the boosters on in time.
is able to
This is
touch.
going to be a really rough fight.
D-Mac
Could be a big bomb.
immediately.
Doesn't get much though. Chegg's ultimate got Ian. I think that's kind of Goats Only's last hope here, being lost.
Yeah, Goats only. Will they get 100 out here or some hero play coming out? Refresh is walled off. He's not even going to be able to touch. Guangzhou taking the first map.
Yeah.
Especially, they were pretty
First point
dominant
was
on both of
first
these
point
points.
was a lot closer, but this point Goats Only could just never get a foothold in.
Play of the game.
Play of the game from Engage. Let's see what this is.
Willing boost keeping his everyone alive. Just attacking out into that.
Here.
All right, I guess that was just a
Charging up
real
on that.
good heal amp.
Yeah. So, yeah. Guangzhou was pretty dominant in that fight. Brody kind of messed around on map 1 a lot. That may have been the reason it was even close on map 1. Because he didn't really do too much messing around on the second point. And it was 100-0 for Guangzhou. Now, Moby is coming in for Chegg though. Moby, I've heard, is a really good player. So, this may be the charge that Goats only needs.
That's very true. This
Change.
could be all they need to make a change. Mom, don't leave is Moby, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was known, but so both teams there ran pretty consistent meta. So it seems like Guangzhou was just out brawling goats only, pretty consistently. Because most of this meta is it's like I like to call it a mini goats, because it's kind of like goats, except the flex DPS still doesn't get to have fun.
That's very true.
Because there you have your Rhine mainly supported by your Diva. You're just missing your Zarya, but McCree does basically the same damage. Somewhat. So in some way, he does the same amount of damage. And then Mei is just what's really dominant about it right now, though.
That is the only major
'Cause
thing, but
l-
even then, at the end game of Goats, people were starting to bring out the May Goats, so this is
Yeah.
just the same type of thing.
It really is just trying to see how much you can enable your Rhine versus the other team enabling their Rhine. And which team can do that
Snowman will
better,
stay on attack,
majority
so
wins.
we don't need to make any changes there, and we are going to Hanamura.
So, Hanamura, they may be starting to go some sort of different type of defense push, maybe not hard meta. Because the only thing was switching off to Sim, which is pretty dominant off meta, because her teleporter is really good, especially on that Lijiang point.
Indeed. And for that, the first push out, it's a lot very powerful to, get there a little bit faster, set up the turrets, try and start to hold the point, but if it doesn't work out, you swap off pretty quickly. So it'll be interesting to me to see if Goats Only does try to replicate that when they get their turn on attack. For now, though, they'll be starting out on defense.
I don't know if this is too dominant on Hanamura as a map, but in competitive, it is definitely seen that Sim TP for attack is definitely a strategy.
Oh, 100%.
So that way you don't have to worry about fighting at choke.
Very interesting pick. Moby or Mom Don't Leave is coming out with the Torp, and
incoming in 30
he's
seconds.
definitely rolling out with it.
They are definitely playing Torp here. Although from the Guangzhou side, we got a glimpse of a Fair Mercy. They switched back, but there definitely maybe could have been that. He was probably just breaking arcade machines and spawn.
Very true.
So,
We'll have to see how this goes.
5,
As we saw,
4,
quite what I wanted to see. Right here, we have Torp,
1.
completely off meta. We only really saw this with double shield from
that's
Atlanta
very
yesterday.
true. And they aren't running anything else special, just the Torp.
Just Torb instead of McCree. Refresh being forced on Mei. We'll see here. It looks like both teams, they're just playing a slow neutral. They're trying to bait wall there. Really good job by Refresh not to put up his wall. Both teams still waiting, trying to probably bait out wall once they get boosters up or
Guangzhou
something
getting a
again.
little close to losing a couple players. Brody goes in for the very
Wall
aggressive
comes out
card,
from
gets
Chaos.
walled off himself, though.
Brody is walled off here. Vegito is anti though.
Chaos gets
Mom Don't Leave gets
a quick
Chaos.
dink with a big purple.
Purple. There goes Brody. And this is first push hole up from Goats Only. Right there. I think that was a really nice wall by Refresh because Chaos had the wall to just allow them to push through. And Refresh had a quick reposition so that way he could get a wall to stop Brody.
Very true. A lot.
It didn't allow Brody to be picked off immediately, but eventually,
Lots more to play there.
because
Attic
of
does
Mom
get
Don't
the
Leave,
turret
who picked up
as
Chaos.
they're making the longer rotation up to top here. And a little bit of
can see.
disinformation there. Brody going out first, and the rest of the team does get cut off. So it's just Brody all alone against the world.
Both tanks are anti-ed and
Brody
alone.
does get Vegetal though.
Brody able to take down Vegito.
Kings does lose his life. Brody gets another one.
Somehow.
Chaos will boot off the course. And Molten Core gets
Mom
2.
Don't Leave gets 2 and Adam gets 1. This could be a big turnover. There is 4 people for Goats Only. Haptic gets Rav. This is both teams are just kind of sitting here. It seems like Guangzhou is trying to regroup as fast as
Guangzhou does
possible to
have
come back
a very
in.
strong advantage here. If they want to push in,
This is
they just have to make sure they don't
Goats
get played by
Only.
Vegetal.
For Goats Only. Adam can't go in at all. He has to stay with his team, so his team comes back as slow as possible. Refresh by himself here. But he has a turret behind him. No?
Slam's coming out.
Big
Very big
shatter
slam
from
coming out for Digital. Makes the clean it up, and that's over for this fight.
Vegito with a massive shatter there. Both nanos came out, both shatters came out. Both teams invested basically the same thing. And they are very close right now in ult charges. With the Guangzhou having the slight advantage in most stuff. But right now,
Guangzhou has a slight advantage, but Ghost only has the ult. And Bomb Don't Leave has the pick.
Bomb Don't Leave. Another pick early in the fight on a DPS. This just will give now Goats only more time to charge ultimates.
Swapping over to
as
the
they
Reaper.
already
I think that's a good choice. Reaper is very nice against Swarp with his nice chunky body and hitbox. Can get a lot of things.
well, they're walled up. They
gets
can't
stuck
go
in the wall into the ceiling.
This could be a big Blizzard from Refresh if he decides to use it while they are in that room.
At the moment, it doesn't look
But
like
they
he's
rotate
hanging
up
back
top
a lot,
again.
way too far for that. Looks like he's saving the Blizzard for when they come down to point.
Which is also a really good play. They come down from the how most teams attack from the top. Right there, Chaos was playing by himself completely. The Reaper's one. Their Brody is completely in by himself.
Brody
Mr.
gets the
coming out,
nano.
they
Doesn't
just
able to
do
get
not
anything
want
else this
Brody.
time. Bomb comes out, completely
Bomb
blocked.
comes
except for
out.
Schaffler gets
How
pinged
did
just a little bit.
Schaffler die?
Doesn't matter, but that's a big beat coming out from Adam, but it's not enough to stand up against the molten core. It's looking like we're gonna see a
Nice
full
plays
ult here
from
from
Goats
both.
only here.
An RAF even eats Chaos's ultimate again. Poor guy. I think he's
Brody
lost.
with a
That's
big
a big
shatter.
slam, though. Will that be enough to turn it around?
This
for
could
the
win. This could turn the
I think
fight.
it will. Brody having that ultimate as he
Big
comes back
slam
is
from
enough to
Brody.
make it so just Vegetal's hanging out on the point, along with Schaffler trying to support him from far away, but I don't think that's enough. Schaffler trying to get in to get a little bit more point time, but it's not going to matter. Guangzhou will take this point in the very last second.
It seems like the fact that Schaffler died to the bomb from pings and was on Ana, a slow character, allowed Brody to be able to get that huge shatter to turn the fight.
That's very true.
Which is why Goats only, I think, playing a little sloppy because they just assumed they won the defense.
That's very true.
Which is just... That's just bad. That was a good play by Pings. I don't... Probably not meant.
Not
But like...
totally intended, but it definitely worked out, and they now have a point.
Now Guangzhou coming in with 0 ults. They're probably just gonna dry push. Both teams have no ults.
I mean, I'm not sure they have an
Seems like
option to
big
do anything other
anti-out.
than dry push.
Vegito has to drop down.
Haptic does fall.
Haptic?
I think that could be the end of the Gangsters push, but then again, Nano coming out on Vegito.
Vegito is Nano.
Really hoping for him to get something, but Chaos from behind.
Chaos is playing
freezing
really
out.
out of position once again.
Yeah, that Chaos does get away with it for now, but no, he falls to Adam.
No?
Now Sam goes down.
Really nice play by Adam there. Chaos tried to wall himself up to get out, and Adam booped him straight back into his team, and then finished off the kill by himself too. Great play by Adam there, and to secure this. Now we see Goats only. They're off the Torb. Mom Don't Leave or Moby is on May, and a Refresh is on McCree. Just hard meta once again. But a little bit different coming out from Guangzhou is they're still on that Reaper, as it seemed to work for them on their first
That is
point.
very true. Guangzhou definitely with a slight ult
They're
advantage.
taking-
They're going around a little bit further to drop down. I'm not entirely sure why you go up just to drop down, but a very effective wall almost gets them
I think they were trying to set up something for Haptic.
Mom Don't Leave, able to get a very effective ult. Both males
Both
coming
May
down.
Blizzards coming out.
Don't know who's going to win out. Chaos gets one. Haptic gets a couple.
Coming out, Nano coming out,
He's
Mutants
out
out.
as well.
Refresh gets a
Doesn't work
1,
out for
that could
Guangzhou.
be
They're not
big.
gonna have much more to work with.
Goats only.
They are just seem to
They're
be
trying to
working out.
just stall out the point here.
Somebody needs to get on the point.
Seems like they may
can't.
just give it up. They just didn't contest. Well, here we go, Guangzhou. When it seemed like they were completely out and were going to be full held, now they got both points with 1 minute and 3 seconds remaining. Quite the turnaround, all off of a bomb by Pings and a shatter by Brody.
That's very true. And honestly, just once again, a little slobby from Goats Only. There was both Schaffler and Refresh was trying to get to point the very last second, but Schaffler never dropped down from his high ground to contest the point, which I understand that having a high ground is extremely important, but it's not more important than keeping the point from being capped.
Ready for battle.
Both teams running out on hard meta once again. Now, something I would like to point out is I believe Moby did get a hammer kill while he was on Torb.
That is a very important stat
And
that
they're,
we need to know.
30 seconds.
I believe so. I'm not completely sure. I think I didn't mention it when it initially happened, but I believe that he did get one. We'll probably screenshot if someone probably will get a screenshot after the VOD is
It's
released.
very true.
Or they might have even got it now. While we were one of the players or spectators may have gotten it.
Also very true. Alright, here they come, Goats Only.
Defend objective
Both teams running hard meta.
Alright, Meadow, nothing special here. We'll have to see how this matches up. Honestly, I'm a little surprised that they didn't try and do much. Oh, a very nice anti-wall from Chaos. Cuts off their flank.
That was
So it's a very nice
really
anti-nade,
small window.
bringing Brody down a little bit far, but Mom Don't Leave will be the first to fall.
This will, right now, Goats only has to back up as they lost their May, which is once again a really big part of this meta. So that was just a nice defense hold by Guangzhou. They didn't really push their advantage or get overzealous, even though I think they could have. They just kind of sat there after picking off the May and farmed some more ults. Now Mom Don't Leave with a much more secure wall. What is something I have not seen is Guangzhou is trying to meet them while they're trying to rotate the high ground.
Definitely a choice, but
Mom
Engage
Don't Leave is
cut off
able
on
to
his
pick
own.
off Engage.
Mom Don't Leave getting a very nice snipe, I believe, onto him. Well, he's out behind the shield.
Mom
That's-
Don't Leave has
that's a
made
lot
a
of-
pretty good change for Goats only
Pings
right
does
now.
get the boost off of Refresh. Hammer goes into nothing. Oh, it does get Ping. It does get the Diva.
Brody
Oh, yeah.
is on Wrath, but Brody is by himself.
I'm not sure which way this fight is
Brody's
going. It
Nano's
doesn't look
now
like
in
it's
their
going the way
backline.
of Goats Only yet. It's definitely not.
Brody picks off Vegito. Brody gets 2.
Adam gets 1, but
And
sacrifices himself quickly.
Adam
after.
gets a Adam booped off a Ryan there. And if you don't know, Ryan has great. He has a I forgot what the ability perhaps is called, but
Steadfast.
basically he can't take a knockback. Steadfast.
It isn't
But
that he can't,
Reinhardt
but he
just
has
basically takes
30%
no
less. So he moves around a lot less,
Basically.
and it's a lot harder to just boop him around and deal with him. And Adam still gets that boop,
So-
so Brody must have been pretty far out.
Brody must have been playing incredibly close to the ledge. Both Ryan is charged, but Vegito is frozen, anti-L.
All the ults are coming out right here. And Pings gets a big bomb.
Pings
even as
gets
Refresh was,
2.
Even as Refresh starts to clean up the rest of the team. That was a big bomb from Pings. I don't think it's enough to stop Goats Only from taking this point.
Goats only seems like they're able to win this unless another hero play comes out somehow.
Just Pings, and
Doesn't
Pings
seem
does
like
fall
it.
as well. And it's 4 on the point. And Brody has turned around. The Gangsters will not be contesting this point any further.
Coming into this, Goats only has 3, almost 4 ultimates, which are going to be going against Guangzhou's only 1.
Only 1. Well,
So-
it'll be 2. They'll have Shatter and Beat.
New defense point.
Shatter and Bead. But I don't think it would be wise to invest either of those. They should just do a dry push and try to get more ults to win, but you never know.
Goats Only going
straight to point.
Forcing them to come down. Slam gets
Shatter
Sam
comes
does
out.
get 2. Adam getting low, falls down. Sam goes out as well. I'm not sure they should keep investing ults at this point, but they have invested 3 already. So it's almost a little bit too late. And this is a very rough fight for Goats Only.
Haptic is uncontested on high ground, so that was Pings and Refresh both off the map. So right there, Haptic was pretty uncontested. And he just had free range to do whatever he
That
wanted.
is the danger of going
So
straight
he-
to point like that. If you leave them up on the high ground,
Yeah,
they can do whatever they want from up there.
I think they've learned from their mistakes and they're now going high ground.
Can't just rely
They're
on
going
ultimates
to-
to
both
win you
teams-
a fight from the low ground.
Both teams are going to fight at high ground. I don't know. It seems like they still want to take a different route to get to the
I
low
knew
ground.
out, but nobody gets caught because of that very clutch wall, saving Adam from getting dinked on that.
I believe Raph also ate some of the
Nano comes
shots
in on
here.
Brody as he charges in, getting
Vegito
that's
was one
3 now
health.
with engage 1. Well, 4 now.
Three picks
The
from
only
Brody
one they
there.
didn't get was the Diva, yes, who is now flying away back to her team.
So Goats Only is having a hard time after that very successful push on attack, getting the second point. They invested quite a lot of ults into their first and still haven't really built them all back yet. They're pretty close to everything besides bomb. But Brody is not with his team right now. Goats Only does not recognize that. Brody was trying to set up for some sort of play here. But
Probably
now
a blank
both teams
slam
will once again.
That seems pretty recognizable. Only Brody goes down. That's
Refresh and Saffler
only
playing on the
one
high
slam.
ground though. Haptic gets both of them. Haptic is uncontested on high ground again.
And
Yeah,
goes a little bit of
as we
both
can
ways,
see.
but definitely in the way of Guangzhou more so.
Guangzhou, Haptic, he had a really good play there. He noticed Refresh and Schaffler were sticking next to each other, so he dropped down. He shot Refresh 3 times, then he shot Schaffler twice and stunned him and then finished him off. Very nice play coming out from Haptic there to realize that they were both next to each other on the high ground, and that one stun would be able to stun both of them and finish them both off necessarily
That's very
quickly.
true. That's one of the key
But-
little things of this meta that can make or break your team is how effective a McCree is with their stuns. Goes only
eating
popping a
another
lot of ults
buzzard.
straight on in. And Pings needs Moms Don't Leave ultimate. That's rough for them. It's going a little bit of both ways, but I don't know if 4 members of Ghost Only
They
is enough to
didn't
take a point.
realize.
No, they do already have 2 ticks, and it's getting very close to third. Yep. Brody not able to get
There
back.
we go.
Not the cleanest of
Very
plays, but
nice
they definitely
plays
did
by
the
Goats
job.
Only there.
And both teams with the exact same time on the clock.
Both teams, 1 minute and 3 seconds left. Although, personally, Guangzhou had a much better and much cleaner attack push after that huge shatter from Brody. That was much funner to
Nevertheless,
watch.
they have some microsecond less time, and they will be attacking first again.
So, both teams will probably run out on hard meta again.
Unless Mom Don't
And this
unless
is
Mom
just
Don't
now-
Leave does pull out the Torb again, it was very successful. And for this
Yeah,
short of a time bank,
was-
I can there it is again. I can definitely see it occurring. Haptic though, coming out with the Symmetra, not surprising considering getting on point as quickly as possible could be the name of the game. If you want, as long as you get some tick on the point, it won't be a draw.
Attackers incoming in
So,
30
this
seconds.
is the something that it's not what I thought. I thought both teams were gonna run hard meta, but like I mentioned at the beginning of Hanamura, Haptic on Symmetra. Symmetra TP to point is a strategy that a lot of teams can try to do, and is seen mostly competitive though, because you don't have McCree, which is much less more damage unless you get Symmetra fully charged.
Yep.
3,
But
1.
as we can see right here though, it's the same
Because
thing
these days
for
it
Goats
seems a lot,
Only.
it is in comp. It's a lot more likely to see a Symmetra one trick than it is a McCree one trick.
So, Mom goes
Interesting.
on Torb. TP to
They
point.
TP straight to the Torb turret, take it out before going to point. I'd say that's a good choice.
That was a
Haptic caught behind the wall, but the rest of the
very
team,
nice decision by Haptic.
the rest of the team starting to push forward. It's an
Trying to
all-out brawl.
charge
Nobody's down
Haptic's
yet,
beam
but
here. Vegito is
Okay,
frozen.
alright, does lose his thing.
Really nice
They
hold
knew
there by
exactly what
Chaos
the
to
plan
get
was,
both the
and they
tanks will
followed through on it very instantly. A very nice push from Guangzhou Gangsters that's going to result in this point being taken extremely quickly. Adam gets a little
that's
bit onto
Guangzhou.
Pings just before he falls as well.
Seems like Guangzhou has really practiced that as an attack. I don't know how they're so, why they were so good at taking out a Torb turret and going on to point,
Defense point.
but they were really good at doing that. That's a very, specific
30 seconds
thing to
remaining.
try to do. But now they're pushing in. They have
This is
Shatter
the only push they got.
and both.
But they've got Shatter and Nano. I'm expecting to see Brody trying to make a hero play here. Symmetra teleporting straight to point once again. Pretty interesting. But they are in the back of the point this time instead of right there. Brody gets two. But a massive Shatter from Vegetal will end this push.
Very nice play by Vegetal.
And no time.
No hero
ticks
bomb.
on that second point.
Very
Victory
nice
beat.
job by Goats Only there.
Round 3 is complete.
They still had Beat and Nano that they didn't use that fight too. So that just shows how big Vegetal Slam really
Got
was.
both supports and they weren't able to do anything to try and counter it. They didn't even think that, oh, Vegetal could have Shatter. They tried to follow up on Slam too quickly and they all fell down.
Engage had not built Beat yet. Beat is probably the slowest ultimate to build in the current meta.
Oh, 100%.
Is Ana does a lot of heal still, and with her nano healing too, it doesn't really allow Lucio to get that many heals out. You have to be really precise with your heal amps to be able to get like basically any use. But Lucio has speed, which enables Reinhardt very, very much, and that's why he's such a big part of this meta as well.
Oh yeah, as per usual. Lucio pretty much, if you have a tank that doesn't have super great vertical mobility, you're gonna have Lucio. That's just how it is.
Yeah, Lucio a must pick basically in most situations.
Haptic setting up
So,
a very
both
interesting
teams now.
teleporter. It's a defensive Symmetra. I can understand why they're doing it. It is just very interesting to see. Meanwhile, Goat's only running out on hard metal.
Attackers incoming.
This is quite a different defense. I don't know why, but Guangzhou seems to have a ton of Hanamura strategies that they just aren't using. Seems like Hanamura is one of those maps that a lot of teams can use and pick a lot of different off-meta heroes for, because it's a very weird map.
That's very true.
Because you almost always take the same route, but there's so many angles onto shooting at that route. It's
Flame don't leave, picked early. That could spell disaster for Goat's only's push already.
Engage is able to finish off Vegito. This just seems like I don't even know if Goats Only will be able to even recontest.
They do have that diva.
They don't have anybody
They have
there.
the diva all over on the right side.
Oh, their diva is in the
So
back
they will
line.
be able to contest at the very least. Whether they'll be able to take it, I don't know. And oh, they haven't. They barely
Rapid's
noticed the diva.
pointed
Diva
out.
still is able to get the touch, but they're not going to last too much longer. This does allow the rest of the team to
Coming
push on
in,
At the same time,
Mondo.
REF Smack already
Mondo
down.
leaves.
REF down. That's a 3 Blizzard, and I think that's the end of Goat's Only's push.
Haptic is able to get two. Wall coming out. Seiyun finish off Adam.
Reginald tries to
Engage
get the
finish
hero
off
slam, but
Libra.
can't this time.
There is no plays coming out, and it looks like Guangzhou wins another map.
Victory.
Map 2 to Gangsters.
This is pretty consistent domination coming out from Guangzhou. Exactly the opposite of what I thought would be going on. But Brody is a pretty much just destroying Vegito in this Rhine 1v1, except for Shatters.
That's very true.
He's playing his neutral game. He's playing his neutral game very well, and he's being way too aggro for Vegito to handle. Whenever Vegito is trying to aggro in, he always seems to get countercharged, or the Chaos has a very nice wall on him and makes him just unable to be able to get the aggression that's needed in this meta a lot of the time. So, Guangzhou, they've been having pretty good plays. Raf hasn't really eaten any Mei ults so far, but Pings has had good success in eating Mei ults, Noons.
I think that's a little bit misconstrued there. Chaos has gotten very few Mei ults off when RAF was still in mech.
Oh, yeah.
But both Meis
seems
are
like-
eating ults very consistently, and both Meis need to be a little bit careful where they go. Next up is Hybrid.
I've just noticed less. I've noticed less, probably just less Mei ults from Total being launched out by Goats Only.
That is that.
Seems like Gangsters is much more willing to use ultimates and as a whole.
And unsurprisingly, we are off to King's Row. I cry once again inside for my dear Eichenwald. Guangzhou will stay on the attack.
Scrims Row never dies. Scrims Row never dies.
Guangzhou ready to just push right on in, and Goats Only are ready as well. But pretty much no pause here.
Seems
they
like
are
both-
ready to rumble.
I wonder if we'll see some Spawn Peak
Now
Widow coming out.
entering King's Row.
Because I don't know too much about both sides, but most players that play hit scan at this level have a pretty decent Widow.
That's very true. I wouldn't be surprised to see at least a little bit of it, but I'm also going to say the majority of, like, almost, 90%, if not 99%, is going to be hard meta here. Which I don't know if is
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the best choice here for Goats Only, where they've found more success with with a bit of off strategies.
Ready for battle.
So, yep, both teams seem to be picking hard meta. Seems like nothing new will be coming out. Yeah, both teams.
Attackers incoming.
So
in
yeah, I
30
mean,
seconds.
The players to watch here are, I think definitely we need to keep a bit bigger eye on the Anas. The anti-nade is a huge ability in this meta. If your tank gets antied and walled, he's dead. Doesn't matter. Antied and walled, you're dead.
Both Anas have been competing pretty much the same, from what I've seen. I don't think one Ana's been sticking out over the other, but I think Adam's been sort of winning the main support battle. He's been getting more boops, and he's been just doing more in total.
He has been doing more, and that sadly does include dying more. But
Yeah,
other than that,
he has been more actions. Oh, well, you just kind of stood there for a bit. Both Maywalls come out. Both teams using matrices. Naded. Both teams are naded.
Brody getting very low, but able to be healed up. Chaos getting a pick onto Adam in the back. I think that'll open up this point for Guangzhou, and we're already going to see him moving into Street Space.
That was a really clean takeover from Guangzhou with 6 minutes on the clock.
Guangzhou already pushing all the way forward. They don't want to stop for the cart.
As we see, both teams decide to stick on meta, but clear advantage in the meta battle is Guangzhou. They are just totally better in this brawl with their much more aggressive main tank Brody.
That's very true. Goats Only allowing Guangzhou to get freely past that choke and almost up to this corner here before they're able to recontest. Adam playing up very high. A big wall comes out, but it's not big enough. Anti comes out, but it's not quite enough to keep the rest of the teams from getting some poke damage in.
Brody
does fall.
Brody is finished off.
Mom Don't Leave does fall as well for Kings.
Both teams are down 5v5, but one team has their Ryan and one team has their May.
Chaos pushing forward again. Brody almost back, but impressively, even without their Lucio and their Ryan, Guangzhou is able to just freely push forward onto Goats Only. Once again, showing the amount that I guess one kind of fears the other. A very nice ultimate coming out here from Mom Don't Leave, but Guangzhou Gangsters very much still in control here.
Mailed invested from Guangzhou. I quite don't know why they invested Mail. I don't think that Goats would have been able to contest early, but I don't know. Maybe they just wanted a faster time.
Maybe they wanted a faster time. Maybe Guangzhou hadn't quite counted the number of kills they had yet. In either case, we're now moving into this last phase here with 5 minutes on the clock.
5.5 minutes for Guangzhou to take only basically half, because most teams give up the first corner pretty easily.
Refresh
Although
getting
King's
wall
Row
abuse
third
high
is-
noon, doesn't get anything, but still cheeky little tactic here. Bomb falling into the back, gets Vegetal actually somehow. Did he get stunned? He didn't. He
Most
gets
people
stunned up.
say King's Row third.
RAF takes out
I
Haptic.
say King's Row third is the easiest point in the game to hold. So we'll see if all this plays coming out will be enough.
That's fair.
And
I mean, that's debatable. I would say Dorado Last is probably the easiest point to hold, but this definitely isn't contested because of how many times it's been played. A very nice beat coming out, helps keeping it up. Big bomb
teams
coming out
investing
here from
many
RAF.
ults.
Doesn't get anything, but forces all of Guangzhou to really back off.
So both teams didn't really do much there.
Big anti forces Guangzhou to back off entirely.
As we could see there, both teams just kind of shot at each other for a really long time with no team being able to make any specifically big play to win the
Yeah,
fight.
there is a lot of ground going back and forth here with not a lot of kills in comparison.
Both Maywalls come out. Noon coming out. Noon is able to get
Noon is able to
chaos.
get chaos. He thought he was safe, but he is not. Brody, you gotta keep that shield up, my dude. Or
That was really nice because now that just gets more time off of this huge clock for Guangzhou.
which that's what Goats only needs the most. In terms of ult bank, Guangzhou a little bit ahead here. On the other hand, a very nice Blizzard is gonna probably stop
coming
this out.
out.
Brody tries to get a Shatter out.
Shatter
but
gets nothing. This
blocked
should
by
be
his own
Brody
name.
dead, and this should be a cleaned up fight. Nice job by Goats only here as they're holding Kings Row third. They might be able to hold the full 5.5 minutes. Because what I would probably not be doing right now is doing exactly what Guangzhou was doing and investing ults. Here comes Noon. Noon coming out. It gets Vegito.
Brody gets Mom Don't Leave as well.
Brody is
He's
able to
falling
finish off
down
Mom
here.
Don't Leave. Adam gets Brody. Refresh gets Soon. But they fall soon after.
This will give
Adam
give
is-
Ghost only enough time to recontest, but it's
Adam
not
is
going to be a
still
pretty
doing its
one.
redditing. This could be big from Adam. No. Nothing happening now. Both teams, they're just waiting. Getting all their players back, regaining ground.
One comes out, doesn't get anybody. 2 nanos onto the Rhines as usual, but both are
Adam
anti.
Boop sailed.
But the Blizzard here is going to take the contest turning in the favor of Guangzhou.
Even though Adam had a
Coming out
big
from
fight
RAF,
there, it got
doesn't get
sailed
anything.
pretty early.
But Guangzhou is pretty
It
heavily
seems like
split.
it may not be enough.
RAF does take out Chaos. A very late beat here, but High Noon might be able to get pretty big here.
Haptic gets 2.
This really is just stalling until the point is inevitably capped. High Noon comes out, is completely in, and that is the point.
Well, like, it may seem like Guangzhou, they have 2 minutes on their clock, good push, but I think it was in really good defense for third point from Goats only, as they got like 3.5 minutes off of that big time
Oh yeah.
that Guangzhou came
The
in
rest
with.
of the map was pretty crap for Goats only, but they were able to turn it around at the end here, and looking at a far more reasonable time bank to complete win. This does mean, however, that Goats only needs to complete with time on the clock, otherwise it is tie at best for them. If they complete with overtime, it is once again tie at best or just a loss.
So, we'll have to see if Goats only is able to have a much better attack than their defense.
Ready for
Both
battle.
teams on hard meta, although we do see a Doom from Mom Don't Leave. Might be rolling out on Doom
Could be
first.
rolling on a Doom, could just be having fun in Spawn, who knows?
Quite don't know yet.
Attackers
I think
Very interesting.
Moby is just messing around, but they're on
They're
Pharah.
on Far Mercy.
Pharah and
Could see
Mercy.
a little bit of Far Mercy to start off the point.
It seems we're gonna get Pharah Mercy. Refresh has switched off of the McCree onto the May.
I think that is a very strong
It
indicator.
seems like
So, the person to watch here now is Haptic. How easily will he be able to shut down this Far Mercy combo?
5, 4, 3, 2.
so, as we can see,
Attackers
Fair Mercy. This is something I was not expecting for King's Row. A Fair Mercy coming out on the attack from Goats only. A much different comp than I would ever expect. Because now they're pretty slow on the ground. And they have to rely a lot on Momi to make these plays.
Don't leave. Trying to get
So,
those rockets
Pharah,
out. Not
just
getting
putting-
a lot of power in here. Chaos does get Shackler. That's pretty much all of Goats only healing. That's going to stagger them pretty heavily or stop this fight. Adam, though, does get that res off.
Although, a wall by Refresh, so that way Adam can get a good res on Shafter, so that way
Oh,
they don't
a
have
very
to waste
clutch eat from
time.
Pings keeps one of his team members, I believe it was Chaos, from getting anti. However, Vegetal does fall down to Brody here. And it looks like the push will be pretty much over.
Brody, this is what I was talking about. On the ground, Vegito just couldn't back up there. Like, he was just dead because he didn't have a Lucio to heal him, he didn't have any way to get out of the situation from just being swung on by
Very
Brody.
true.
And with the less heals, he really can't swing
Mom don't
back.
leave, swapping over
since
to the
there's
Reaper.
only an Ana.
And Adam is back on the Lucio. It looks like they have abandoned the farm versus strategy and are going for close quarters damage entirely.
Cool. Right now, both teams are ringing. Nano comes
Brody
out.
gets 2 with the Nano.
Brody.
Just close quarters. Swing
Brody
it.
gets 3 with the Nano.
Close quarters. Fire it well.
Brody has been putting in a lot of work with these Nanos.
REF getting staggered heavily. Oh.
Heavy stagger. Body block coming in. Sleep was missed, and so she is charged. So, right here, both teams coming in. The only ults on the table right now are Brody, probably from his Nano that he just got. He has Shatter, and they're close to bomb. Chaos has his May ult, and Haptic has Noon, and Engage is close to B.
The ultimates are
comes out
definitely
immediately.
in favor of Guangzhou Gangsters. Noon comes out, doesn't get anything, just a little bit of pressure on here. Vegetal gets the Nano, and allows him to be a lot more aggressive against this, and a big anti onto both teams. But Brody gets nothing with the slam, I believe. Blizzard comes out on the
You
side.
may see both May ults come out here. Speed is invested to counter May ult. Chaos might have to use May ult here to be able to clean up his fight.
Oh, Pings with a very nice bomb.
Pings
That
gets
is
2.
the end of Goat's Only's push.
And there we
At
go.
this point, I would
That
expect to see Refresh and Mom Don't Believe swapping roles, but it's possible they think Death Blossom is important enough to keep building it.
it seems not. With only a minute left, it seems they're going to be trying to farm up the DPS ults in time. But, as we can see here, the only ults on the table are RAF with Bomb and Seiyun with Nano.
And now Vegetal has his
Haptic
slam.
is
However,
close to
Brody, very little coming out on either side for the slams here, except when Vegetal manages to catch Brody with his guard down. Almost gets it there, but Brody is able to get the shield back up in time, and people are just falling.
Shatter
outside
Bomb
Goats
was
Only.
not able to work. Shatter Bomb was invested from Goats Only, but not able to come out with any kills at all.
Goats Only.
They don't.
This series started out looking pretty hot for them, even if they were losing. But now they're just slow. They have just faded down into this winter.
It seems like Guangzhou is able to just totally dominate this series. Big E coming out, Haptic gets nothing. That could have
And
been
a big
move.
slam from Brody. Oh no.
Be able to finish off this. It seems like it's the end for
Two
Ghost
picks
Only, unless
and
they can have some
overtime.
big hero play. That's
That is the
it.
game.
Victory.
Guangzhou Gangsters 3-0 Ghosts Only. The pretty dominant performance.
That's-
The only thing that was really close was the first point of Legion. The rest of the game was pretty dominant. Besides for that almost full hold defense in
It was
Hanamura,
very rough for
and
Goats
the
Only,
first
but
point of Legion.
Brody just picked him up and just kept swinging it. Guangzhou never had a good enough answer to them.
So, that was really dominant from Guangzhou. Not what I expected at all. I was totally expecting Goats Only. So, who do we think? I think sort of Brody as player of the match.
I mean, I think it definitely has to go to one of those tanks, either Brody or Pings. Both were extremely influential in turning the tide of this match, and both had
Yeah.
hero moments that allowed them to pull off, incredible feats and keep the match in their favor.
The main reason I say Brody is because his Shatter, and basically it was all that won that Hanamura pushed for them. And also, he was able to just completely shut down Vegetal. Vegetal was just able to basically do nothing. that entire game because Brody was just too aggro for him to be able to like handle it at
That is
all.
very true. We will see if Brody would like to come and talk to us here up in the casting booth. If not, that's fine. We've got more from the gangsters we can talk to. But we will have to see.
We'll have to wait to see if Brody will respond.
But yeah, sadly, a pretty rough game for goats only here. Just pretty quickly rolled over. Once again, the first map was close, but from there, gangsters just had it in the palm of their hand and just kept on going and going.
Like this game, it wasn't too bad of a game to watch. It was kind of a stomp by Guangzhou, but it wasn't too much of a stomp to where it wasn't fun
That's
to watch.
true.
It was still fun.
There was
to
back and
watch.
forth.
It was a fun to watch game.
For a while, for a while there, Goats Only looked pretty good on Harmur, and then Gangsters were able to break through, and Goats Only were never able to stop them again from there.
Although Goats Only did look much stronger with Mobian. They were definitely a completely different team.
Definitely, definitely.
No response from Brody yet, so
We'll see if maybe someone else. Maybe Pings would like an interview?
Pings did really well this game as well.
Indeed. If we get no answer here, we might just have to sign off without one, but that's okay.
That would be okay.
Alright, Pings will come on in. Alrighty. And we are in casting booth 3? 3?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey there, congrats on your win.
Thank you very much.
Howdy.
I'll let you ask the questions.
So, how do you think you did that game? How hungry were you, so to say?
Well, I mean, obviously we've been searching for the wins lately, and I think we finally found our groove, and we're hungry to keep going. It's gonna keep happening.
That's definitely good to hear. I'd say that both of you tanks, you and Brody, were the standout players in this match, just kind of always being very aggressive, pushing into Goats Only and forcing them to either adapt or crumble, and more often than not, they did crumble.
Yeah, Brody and I have brought up a lot of good synergy lately.
Oh, that's good. You want to expand on that? Like, any specific things you do to help enable him to keep swinging, as it were? He is a very aggressive main tank.
He does get a lot of that done. A lot of ballsy charges, and it always works. We've just started communicating a lot more, which has gone a long way. Just so we know what the other person's doing, and we can sort of support each other.
Oh yeah, you know, when he's planning to, just charge off the side of the map with a player, as it is.
Yeah. I mean, it worked.
It did
worked.
not work, yeah. So yeah, that's...
So,
Go ahead.
Pings, how do you feel? How do you feel about you being able to support a main tank as aggro as Brody? Are you confident in your ability to do that?
I think as an off tank, it's just it's a matter of time to adjusting to your main tank partner. Now that we've had enough scrims under our belt and had enough practice, I think I feel confident supporting and his aggressive playstyle.
That's really good for you and your team. How do you feel about your other matches against more other teams that have been better in the standings and performance than Goats Only? How do y'all feel y'all would contest now that you're more adjusted?
I think we'll give them a run for their money, to be honest. Especially because they'll probably still be underestimating us. We'll see if we still get roasted on Countdown this week. Hopefully not. But yeah, I think we have a good shot.
Good. I think that y'all definitely put on a performance I wasn't expecting, and look like a completely different team.
Yeah, I'm really proud of everyone. We're doing a good job.
That is for sure. I wish you luck on the rest of your season, man. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Good luck. I think that will be it from us here. That was a fun game to watch, fun game to cast. Good job, Guangzhou, for winning. Goats only put up a good fight.
Indeed. That's going to be all from us.
That's it.
You'll be seeing this VOD soonish, but the end result of the match, Guangzhou takes it 3-0 against Goats Only. I've been Zakara, with me is Charm. Have a good night.
Yeah. And good night.